Hello everyone and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Hot Takes. My name is TJ and I'm joined by my constant co-host, Sottle, who will debate, probably effortlessly because his brain is huge, about some hot takes from this past weekend of Hearthstone Grandmasters. Sottle, how you doing today, man?
I am doing fantastic. Finally, an intro where you acknowledge my genius. This is much more like it, TJ. Can we keep this up for 6 more weeks or whatever it is?
Yeah, sure. Probably going to be even more than that. Maybe we'll have a special Masters Tour episode of Hot Takes since there's a Masters Tour smushed right into the middle of Grandmasters. But we'll talk about that at a later date. It's time to get right in to Hot Take number 1. Eddie shouldn't be the only player piloting Turtle Mage.
Hard facts, TJ. This is absolutely the case. I was actually thinking about this going in, and I want the record to show that I said that Turtle Mage was potentially a real deck in our private chat with casters all the way back when it first came out, when it appeared on, it was just a meme on Twitter. But absolutely, I think it was a thing in Last Hero Standing as a snipe deck, as a counter deck. I think it was a thing that people could have potentially looked into more. And now next week, going into Specialist, there are certain metas that you could predict, like very heavily Priest, for example, where Turtle Mage could be a go-to as well, teched in particular ways. So I absolutely think that Eddie might be onto something here, bringing this deck to a competitive format.
Well, as always, Sottle, I'm going to have to disagree. One, I've been pretty adamant about my disdain for the deck. But separate from that, I do think that everybody would kind of just get tired of watching Turtle Mage if a lot of players brought it. The nuance and the beauty of crafting a guaranteed win condition with Turtle Mage would kind of go away if more players brought it, and I think people will get sick of it. So I kind of like that only Eddie's bringing it because it's his deck, it's his thing, and I don't want anybody else to have it.
It's a very loose interpretation of the word shouldn't, but sure, I guess we'll allow it, TJ, on a technicality.
It's a very broad take.
Yeah, it is indeed. For the good of humanity, Eddie should be the only person piloting Turtle Mage.
Yes. Oh, so you agree with me? All right, cool. Well, then that's an easy point for me.
If we want to flip it into that context, which is an allowable definition of the take, sure, I will allow it.
All right. Well, you did agree with me there. So 1 point TJ, 0 points Sottle. All right, let's move on to hot take number 2. APAC is the only region that improved its player pool with the recent promotions. Oh, no.
Moment.
I see where this is going. I already know where this is going to go.
Moment of silence.
Sottle, go ahead.
Moment of silence while I consider it. But I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. I think APAC perhaps has improved the most. The players who've come in have looked very impressive and have put in good performances. But I think it's a little cruel to some of the other players that we've seen promoted. Maybe the other regions have seen, more missable relegations in terms of some of the players we've lost. But, you look at No Hands Gamer killing all day, coming into the Americas region, incredible. And then, of course, we have to talk about Blyze when this question comes up. Like, how can you even rule that man out? He has been a breath of fresh air to the European Grandmasters and has added a ton to the region, I think.
Sottle, history is about to be made with this hot take. I'm going to concede this hot take.
Ooh!
I quit. I quit this hot take. 2 reasons. 1, I have to keep with the tradition of flip-flopping about Blyze. Last week I said he was overrated. This week I think he's the best player in the world. So I can't say that APAC is the only region. I have to agree with you there. And 2, I am physically incapable of saying that Killin' All Day is anything but the best player in the world. So I concede. Congratulations, Sottle.
You are hard stuck. That's immediately what I thought when this came up. Like, I can make TJ have to argue against Killin' All Day here. This is amazing. All I have to do is name drop Killin', and TJ's stuck. On top of which, if you were defending APAC now, you'd be walking back on your dunk from half court on APAC last week. So that would be yet another flip-flop on your part. So I praise your consistency there, at least.
A-Bar, the guy that makes these hot takes, really put me in an awkward position here. He trapped me with this one. But because I conceded the point and because I was so gracious as to just give you a full point, which, is not part of the rule book. If someone concedes a point, your opponent only gets a half point. Can you at least give me just one hashtag YoCad?
Me? You want a hashtag YoCad from me? Of course. Hashtag YoCad. Let's go.
All right, there we go. All right, all worth it. All worth it. All right, that was hot take number 2. We're all tied up 1-1. Anything could happen going in to hot take number 3. Americas is by far the most fashionable region.
What? Okay, we're going a bit left field in season 2 of Hot Takes. I see you. Let's go with no. I think by far the best showing we had this week in terms of fashion came from the European region, and it was the man, the myth, the legend, known as Tice himself, breaking out his alternate swag persona on stream for game number 1 of his series. I don't think I've seen anything from the Americas region that lived up to that. What, Monsanto put on a hat? That's what we're talking about? Come on. Tice has a whole alternate persona that showed up on screen. You can't mess with that. Get out of here.
He put on sunglasses. That's all he did. Maybe he was just going for a walk, having a tea, and just decided to keep his sunglasses on because it was bright inside because the windows. That's ridiculous. And number 2, it's not just Monsanto. Monsanto put on the hat. The hat was pretty cool. We have Frodan. Frodan has 8 closets, each filled with 2,000 jackets, each with a unique pattern that's exclusive to him only. Frodan has more jackets than the rest of all the Grandmasters and all the casters combined. And you know this. You've seen Dan's jackets. You've seen them in person. You've probably even touched some. I'm offended that you would not say that Americas is by far the most fashionable region. And that's including every other player can't even match up to just Frodan. So because you've offended me, you get minus a point, and I get plus 2 points.
TJ, quite literally this time, riding Frodan's coattails as you have been your entire career. Shame.
They don't call me Budget Frodan for nothing. All right, I'll give you your point back because of that sick burn. That was a nice take. You get a point back for sick burn, but because I gave myself 2 bonus points, you still lose the episode 3-2. So, well played, Sottle, but unfortunately, I won, and I also got a hashtag YoCat out of you. So,
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I completely lost track of what the scores were halfway through there. I was expecting to be on like -5 by the end of whatever nonsense you came out with. But sure, I will take the narrow defeat on the scoreboard because, once again, the viewers know who the real winner is.
Yeah, but, I mean, let's be real honest here, Sottle. I'm going to go on a small soapbox here as we wrap up episode 2 of season 2. It's not even about the points, right? Because at the end of the day, Hearthstone, Grandmasters, and Hot Takes is all about friendship. And I think that's something that we can all appreciate and really take away from this episode. But that's going to do it for Hot Takes episode 2. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week for more Hot Takes.